What's up, everybody? And welcome to the Week 5 edition of the Swolecast. I'm David Kitchen, joined by Davis Mattek and Dan Gaspar, Mr. Total 05. Also, we've got Evan Silva with us, Evan from rotoworld.com. Want to let people know in advance that I know, like, hold your just sorrows. I might be, like, jumping off here real quick because my family has been sick this whole week, and it's my wife's turn to be sick today. So,
did you all get sick from Dwayne Johnson only having 8 total yards?
Dwayne Johnson.
Who's Dwayne Johnson? Oh, The Rock. Did The Rock play?
What's his name? The Lions running back?
Oh, Dwayne Washington.
Dwayne Washington.
Yeah, good one, rookie. He was gonna eat too in that second half. I mean, it set up good.
Lions looked good.
It set up so good. They looked amazing. Want to thank our sponsor, the Draft app. You can go to playdraft.com/insiders. Take us on and join our drafts. Also, playdraft.com/soccerdave. I felt like last week was a good week for the Swolecast. Another good week. We had Julio Jones in our FanDuel tournament team. That was nice. Just a couple misses, including Dwayne Washington.
You guys like all tried to give me the nah wave on Jordan Howard.
No. I'm the one who told you Jordan Howard last week.
It's fine. It's a forward-thinking show. We're going to make some more money.
It's a forward-thinking show, so let's move on. We've got another Washington. We've got a Tuttle. You're muted right now, mate.
You can't even see myself or Davis, by the way. I don't know if that's intentional.
Oh. Yep. Now it's lit. It's just a little bit of a technical. I mean, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Speaking of, shout out to Jared Cook out there. You see that? He had a chicken wing at Buffalo Wild Wings in the shape of a chicken head. If you haven't seen it yet, you have to see it. It is amazing. All right, let's start with the overall construction of this week. This is a weird week, and this is another week where it feels like you have to go cheap or expensive at quarterback. And we have some value running backs as well, guys such as DeAndre Washington, who I was a big fan of in the preseason, but I feel like I'm not even as high as most people are this week just because of the water that Jalen Richard and Olamalemle threw on him as far as the Raiders running backs. But this is a week that I'm playing Antonio Brown and I'm playing Odell Beckham, and I'm letting the other pieces fall where they may. Evan, is it silly to play Odell Beckham in cash games this week?
No, I mean, I'm playing him in cash for sure.
All right.
All in.
So we got Silva insurance. How tilted is like half of Twitter going to be? DFS Twitter going to be when like he gets benched after the first series for just throwing a temper tantrum?
He's not going to get benched.
I agree too. I don't think he's going to get benched. In fact, that news actually helps us because it gets people off.
He was going to be contrarian all week because people watched him be bad on an island game, but this is the nut spot. Like we don't even need to spend that much time talking about it. He's just the play.
So do you play him with Antonio Brown then?
Both sides, yeah.
Evan?
Agree.
Tuttle?
Agree, but I also think this is going to be like the trolliest week of weeks this week.
Yeah,
I think you're going to
get a weird feeling about this week too. Man.
Like it's going to be like Victor Cruz is going to score all the Giants touchdowns, and then like Jalen Richards can score all the touchdowns.
We really haven't had any weeks that have been just like
right.
And this is the first really tough week. Like normally by the time we have the show, I like have a cash team. I don't have a cash team saved on either site. Like it's too hard.
I've got some cash teams saved. If you played Thursday night contest and you did not play Davis, did you play David Johnson last night in your Thursday night contest?
I was actually just telling Dan before we started. One of my buddies has me make his teams for all the free rolls because he doesn't play NFL, and he like messaged me and I was like, just put in a bunch of guys who start on Sunday. We don't want anyone from this game.
What's it with you, like, not starting your brand guys against the 49ers? Like, do you think they're, like, a good team?
I think their defense is like not that bad at home, honestly.
And first Cam, now David Johnson.
And the 49ers, like I said, I thought the 49ers would cover, and Gabbert got him there with the last-minute rushing touchdown.
Gabbert wasn't bad at all. All right, talking about this upcoming week, also tight ends. Feels like you've got to go cheap. And that leaves like what we're going to do at the quarterback and running back situation. Let's start with quarterback. Evan, what are you feeling good about?
Ben.
Big Ben. Angry Tommy doesn't interest you at all. You're giving him you're giving Tom Brady the gnaw wave. Nice.
Yeah.
Whew, that's hot.
I'm gonna edit the cheat sheets when we get done here, and I'm gonna swap Brady out as like a cash play for Roethlisberger.
Fade Ben, fade Brady, play Blunt.
I feel like Big Ben's gonna be the chalk.
It should be because he's the best player on the board.
All right, let's talk about that a little bit, especially now that do we have any definitive news on Darrelle Revis?
Doubtful, not playing.
I mean, this is going to be, and on the offensive side, you've got Quincy Enunwa, who now we don't know what's going to happen. I really liked Enunwa and Brennan Marshall, and I was on board with Fitzpatrick as a low price guy on DraftKings. And now, if they don't have Enunwa, then and you got Forte, who I still think he's like got multiple injuries going on. There's no way he lasts this season. But I don't know what this offense is going to do. I mean, I think this Steelers defense is now in play. Tuttle, what's your take on this game now?
I actually I liked this week better when we didn't have Raiders value running backs because I thought it opened up a little more strategy at quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I think it is. I mean, you play Big Ben in cash and you're done with it. Whereas before, I think you actually had the decision on if you wanted to play Ben or if you wanted to play Brian Hoyer. But now that you have the running back situation like it is, I think it's probably going to be very little edge in cash games where it's just going to be everybody plays Big Ben, everybody plays value Oakland running back, and that's about it.
The edge is Le'Veon Bell versus Odell this week, I think.
Yeah, if you're paying up for that second RB spot.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets kind of that's where, to me, it gets kind of dicey because I don't know if DeAndre Washington is a must-play. And that sounds so weird because I was so high on him before this season. But there is, like, a legit chance that it's a risk. It's a risk. Like, if he doesn't break off a big run, I don't think he's going to get goal line touches. I think he's probably going to split touches with Richard. Silva, what's your take on this Oakland running back situation?
I got a crazy idea for you guys.
Don't say Richard.
Crazier.
Play both. He's going to say
play both. You play both.
I don't hate it.
You can build some nasty lineups, and if you get 20 points from those guys, you're sitting pretty. And I think that you can get 20 combined from them. I mean, I don't know who's going to do better. And I'm not going to pretend that I know who's going to do better. I like Washington slightly better because on FanDuel he's $200 cheaper and because he's gotten a few more touches recently. But I think Jalen Richard might be the better interior runner. And it's like Washington's right here and then Richard is like right there. So if you play both on FanDuel, and I mean, I assume that this could be viable on DraftKings as well. If you play both, you can do whatever you want with the rest of your lineup.
Right. That's like college football strategy right there. It's what we used to do with college football with two min-price running backs is to play on both.
So here's the thing. Shout out to 2QBs.com they do the fantasy aces ownership percentages.
Yeah.
DeAndre Washington and Thursday Lock was 23% owned. Jalen Richard was 1% owned.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's already got the hype behind him. Like, the projections are going to like him. He's the guy that's broke off the 25-plus yard runs. Like, I mean, he's the guy who people are going to get behind. If he busts, it's going to be good for people that are playing GPPs or cash games that are fading him.
Can we talk real quick about the strategy behind what Evan just said? We got a couple people in chat that are like laughing at the idea of playing both, and it's something that you wouldn't want to do really in GPPs because you're capping your upside. But it really is not a terrible cash game strategy because you're locking in 25 to 30 touches. You think, Silva?
Yeah. I remember I did this last year when we got LaShawn McCoy out, and we had Carlos Williams and Mike Gillislee, and we didn't really know who was gonna get more work, and it was against the Jets, and they both just went off. And I don't know if they'll both go off, but I mean, it's a favorable matchup. The Raiders have a strong team total. The Chargers have played good run defense early in the season, but I mean, I'm still not worried about them. And I mean, I think that they could just really ride both of these young dudes. I mean, they're both good players and they both have big playability. We've seen them both break off big plays so far, and they're min price, dude. I mean, they're right at the minimum. And if you want to play Ben and you want to play Antonio Brown and you want to play Odell and you want to play like Brennan Marshall, this is how you get there.
Right. And I don't think I will say I think the strategy is better for DraftKings where you have that flex spot than it is on FanDuel. Yeah. I think it is viable.
Passing on McKinnon this week.
I agree.
No, he would be the guy. Yeah, that's why it makes it a little tougher on both sides. I think of McKinnon, you lock in on FanDuel as well.
And Howard as well. McKinnon and Howard are the two guys. Like, it's going to be really hard for me to fade either one of those guys. Let's talk really quick about, and even possibly like Theo Riddick. I mean, I know that we talked about last week, but like on DraftKings, he's 4,900. Both the Bears, well, actually, both the Vikings, Bears, and Lions all having injury concerns heading into Week 5. Let's start right now with the Bears team because you've got possibly Eddie Royal that's going to be out. Alshon Jeffrey's questionable at the knee. Let's just assume that he plays. But with already Kevin White going to the IR, like who are they going to play? People were talking in our chat earlier in our Platinum chat about like Cameron Meredith as a potential guy. And I just think that Jordan Howard's going to get another 30 touches regardless in this game. And so for that reason, it's going to be tough to fade. Davis, what is your feel about the situation?
I mean, my feel on the situation is that Riddick is like kind of like a fine secondary play. But the guys that I want.
Wait. We're on Jordan Howard.
I'm going to give my thoughts on just the running back situation as a whole.
Okay, we're talking about the Bears team though right now.
Okay.
The Bears injury situation.
You can interrupt me.
No, I didn't know why you brought up Theo Riddick because I asked you about the Bears injury situation.
Well, I was going to get.
Okay, sorry.
So I think the way that all of these pieces fit together is that Howard should get a market share boost because someone in the chat just mentioned Riddick. I don't know. I'm really high on Howard. I thought he looked pretty good last week. I believe it was Rich Rebar that tweeted that the Colts have the highest percentage of runs that have gone for at least 5 yards allowed this season. And Howard, I think it was some very good number. He was third highest of all the running backs last week in percentage of rushes that went for greater than 5 yards. That's the guy I want. And I mentioned this on the Wednesday show that I did with CSU Ram and Pat Mayo. Cameron Meredith is mid-salary on DraftKings. The coaches were really talking him up this week. He's an undrafted free agent from Illinois State. I actually think he's going to play in the Kevin White, he's going to play the flanker role that Kevin White is leaving. And that's going to be the dude on this offense that just has this giant vacancy in targets who no one is going to be on. Zach Miller, Jordan Howard, Alshon, Hoyer, all these guys are going to be piled on. But I would be shocked if Meredith was 10% owned in any format.
That's another way to get in AB and OBJ and Ben is to use Cameron Meredith as your third receiver. He's min price on FanDuel as well. I mentioned the Bills running back thing from last year. That was actually against Dallas, not the Jets. I just checked that. But yeah, I mean, Cameron Meredith, really good athlete, man. He's 6'3", 207. He ran 4.49 at his pro day coming out of Illinois State, had 9 touchdowns as a senior. And, I mean, explosive numbers in the jumps, 39-inch vertical, 10'7" broad jump. I mean, he's a legit athlete. And, I mean, he's going to play every single snap in the Bears offense this week. I think he's certainly in play. I think the cheap receiver that I really like is Sammie Coates against the Jets. Leads the NFL in 40-plus yard receptions. The Jets have given up a league-high 7 40-plus yard receptions through 4 weeks. Don't have to worry about Revis. Ben is aggressively targeting Sammie Coates, and I think he breaks one. I think he breaks one this week.
Yeah. As far as the quarterback situation in Chicago with Hoyer being somewhat of a play, what would you say about all these injuries for Hoyer as far as Chicago goes, Evan?
It's scary, dude. It's scary. First of all, you got Brian Hoyer. I mean, like
he had 300 yards last week.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like point chasing with a bad quarterback. I played him in Thursday Cash, and I hate myself for it. I wish I could go back, you know.
Well, I wish we had Derek Anderson news.
Well, that's the thing on FanDuel. You know, they have a Sunday-Monday slate.
Yep.
So that makes the Sunday-Monday slate really intriguing because I think you play Derek Anderson in cash there.
What about this Vikings news about Diggs? I mean, he basically didn't play all week. If he doesn't,
he's not playing.
What's that?
He's not playing.
Is it definite that he's out?
He's doubtful. I mean, guys don't play when they're doubtful.
Right. All right. So he hasn't practiced all week.
Davis will bet that he plays.
Davis is going to give a stat.
Friday is a whole different thing. I hate you guys.
It's going to give a stat about doubtful guys. So Diggs being out, how many touches again does that give Jerick McKinnon? And is this bad for Jerick McKinnon because they're going to have trouble moving the ball? I mean, basically, it's Kyle Rudolph and Jerick McKinnon.
Well, the Texans don't have a very good run defense. I mean, they've been run on in pretty much all their games. They're on the road.
31st in rush defense DVOA.
The Texans should not be able to do anything offensively. It'll be positive game script for Jerick McKinnon all game. You can play McKinnon and Vikings D together, and I think you have a really, really high floor. The only question I have with McKinnon is what is his touchdown upside?
Yeah.
But I think that's a really high floor combination there. I mean, the Vikings defense should just eat against Brock Osweiler.
So Tuttle, this kind of goes back to the question of, especially if you're playing on FanDuel, if you've got Jordan Howard getting all these touches and you got Jerick McKinnon getting all these touches.
Jordan Howard is kind of expensive on FanDuel, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still Deandre Washing now, I just feel like is risky in cash. And I might play him. He's in my lineup right now as far as cash goes.
I don't want to play him.
I know.
Feel like
I was hoping someone would talk me off of him.
I just don't think I've seen some insane predictions for his floor. It's totally possible that he assumes. So he was getting 7 to 10 touches a game before, and Latavius Murray was getting 13. It's totally possible he assumes half of that workload and he gets to 15 touches, in which case you'd be insane to not play him. But how many times have we seen a running back get injured and they keep a guy who's effective in his role in that role and they bring in another guy so that they don't disrupt the continuity of the offense? I think that's totally a possibility with Washington, and no one is speaking that way.
I mean, he's a lock to 2x.
Yeah, sure.
Oh gosh!
But how much is 8
You're
points
just
really
jinxing
worth?
it so hard right now.
The question is what is his upside? But I mean, he's min price, dude. I don't know if you want to really overthink it. I don't know. I mean, he's not a great bet for a touchdown, but I mean, his probability definitely goes up this week, just getting more touches.
I mean, it comes down to if you think you want to play Hoyer at quarterback or if you want to pay up for Roethlisberger.
I don't want to.
That's what it is.
I don't want to play Hoyer.
I don't want to play Hoyer either.
It's pretty much. I think the 2v2 last night that Dave Lochran and I, when we were making teams, it was Big Ben and DeAndre versus like Hoyer and Jordan Howard, maybe. So just that's what the 2v2s are going to be. All right, let's move on to go to quarterback. As far as other quarterbacks that are like GPP plays, maybe under the radar plays, you've got Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers has a nice little game on a Sunday night. Oh,
Prime time, baby.
Prime time, Rodgers.
Flacco.
All right, Davis, you kind of put your flag on Flacco this week.
I don't have a flag on it. I'm 100% going to have some of him I'm not going to have 100% of him, but I will be rostering him in some tournaments. His pass volume is up. I think the lack of running back continuity for them is forcing them to throw a little bit more. It's also giving him a little bit of rushing touchdown equity because he's so tall. They like to do the quarterback sneak with him. I think the fact that they're going to have 3 running backs active this week instead of 2. By the way, that's kind of got me off of West a little bit. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I just see a nice little floor game for Flacco here. And Washington, I mean, for my money, Washington is one of the worst 3 defenses in football, rush or pass. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like there are a lot of other options better than Flacco. But
I mean, that would be why he's a low-owned tournament option, David.
Yeah,
because there are a lot.
You also came on our Sirius show and said he was possibly in cash potential. Like
that's who I had it. That's who I had at first before I looked at it a little bit. Actually, I talked to CSU Ram, and that was what on the Mayo show. That's what got me on Big Ben. Good. He made a really good point about some extra volume in that game.
Good. All right. So we've got Aaron Rodgers. We've got Eli Manning against Green Bay as well in this game. Like there could be a lot of points. Obviously, if you've got Odell, you're wanting Eli Manning to have a game. He's got a few other options. And against this secondary, they're so bad. This Green Bay secondary is so bad. Don't have Sam Shields again. Evan, how many points are going to be scored in this Sunday night game?
I would think a lot. I think that Eli will have like no ownership, and he might be the best tournament quarterback play on the board this week. I mean, the Packers have been a pass funnel so far. Like they eliminate your running game. They lead the NFL in tackles for loss per game. And we all expect Odell to have a good game. We all think that Will Tye is a good play. Why wouldn't we be on Eli? You know, I think that Eli is a great tournament play, and I think that this game will be a shootout.
We do all think that Will Tye is a good play this week.
I do.
I don't know why he wouldn't be.
Oh.
Larry Donnell out with the concussion protocol. Like I think Will Tye is like it's kind of just the same play as like Hunter Henry or whatever.
Packers have given up the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends. They struggle at inside linebacker. I mean, I think Will Tye is an awesome play.
Right now, the only 2 tight ends I'm really considering are Ertz and Rudolph. Rudolph just eats every week. I mean, it's gross, but that's what he does.
You don't like Zach Miller against
and Miller on DK as well.
We had a Will Tye week last year, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
He was good. He's good. I mean, I think he's good.
Tuttle, any other quarterbacks you like this week?
Yeah, a guy we didn't touch on yet that he's not going to go under-owned. I think you'll see some decent ownership is Derek Carr. I think he might be the way. If you don't want to, gamble with one of the Oakland running backs, I think you're definitely going to want to get some of this Oakland offense somehow with one of the higher team totals of the week. So Derek Carr is a great way to do that. And he's a guy that we didn't touch. And I think he's a borderline cash game option if you really want to differentiate in cash.
Davis is not going to like this. I agree, especially with Veretto. Davis is not going to like this. But as far as like targeting bad defenses and injured defenses, I'm not really on Carson Wentz against Detroit at Detroit. However, there's another guy, Andrew Luck against Chicago.
Sure. I mean, sure.
You're just not a big Andrew Luck fan. You think he's terrible.
He feels unnecessary this week, but I think he'll get to 22 DraftKings
right,
points.
It's just a tournament option. Like he's against the Bears. I feel like anybody going against the Bears and Lions is a tournament.
I might just go like 75% Ben just because I think he like gets to 30.
Right. Bears, Lions, and Chargers. I need to add Chargers in that group now that they've lost Ferret because they've just been so depleted by injuries. Speaking of Chargers, let's go to running back. Let's go to Melvin Gordon. He's getting all the volume. Most people think he sucks.
Because he does.
Okay, there you go.
He looks like skinny Trent Richardson.
So he's still getting like 30 touches a game. And I'm not sure that's going to change this week against the Raiders. So, Evan, your thoughts on Melvin Gordon?
I can't do it.
Tuttle loves him because he's a Wisconsin boy.
I don't love him.
You love him like you do cheese curds.
Completely unnecessary this week.
I played him last week, and like my heart was thumping. I can't go back there again.
Kept getting those 1 yard touchdowns.
I'm trying to live into my 40s.
Dude, I was tilted so hard. I faded Gordon last week. Beasley was another high owned guy that I faded last week, and it was like Melvin Gordon would get those 1 yard touchdowns. And then Beasley gets the 60-yard reception with a minute left in the game when they should have ran the ball.
And there's a penalty called.
I was so tilted.
There's a penalty called on that play, and they waved it off.
Oh, yeah, yep. Just so much tilt.
Le'Veon Bell, we talked about it earlier. It's like Le'Veon or AB. I mean, Le'Veon or Odell Beckham. As far as having to use him in cash, if you used him in cash last week, he did good. Doesn't feel necessary, but if you go cheap at quarterback and you do want to fade Odell, it feels kind of safe while we're at it, Davis.
To fade Le'Veon, you think it feels safe?
No. To play Le'Veon and fade Odell Beckham feels kind of safe. If you play Le'Veon Bell, you
feel safe.
You know what you're going to get.
So, I mean, he's never getting less than 15 in this matchup. I do think that Browns, they played a lot of empty backfield stuff last week. And the Jets, I mean, I know that the funnel defense thing is overrated, but they're third in rush DVOA, 31st in pass DVOA. So, I mean, I think he can get 6 catches or whatever. But he's not he's obviously elite. I just don't know if I'll have him. That's going to suck if I don't. He's so good.
You're talking out loud to yourself, and it's a lot how people build lineups. You're like, oh, maybe I should put him in there. Evan.
I mean, I just said a guy could have 6 receptions at the running back position. I don't think he's a lock. I don't know. He's probably a lock.
Evan, what says you?
I was just looking at news. I'm sorry. What were you talking about?
Le'Veon Bell.
I mean, I think he's an amazing play. I mean, I want to game stack that. I want to play Ben, Le'Veon, AB, Coates, Marshall. I want Bilal Powell.
I noticed that Marshall was the only guy that you listed from the Jets.
And Bilal Powell when they're in comeback mode, and Marshall finishes with 17 targets, and Bilal Powell gets 12.
I'm all about Bilal Powell. I was apparently Forte's dealing with some ribs injuries. But he's also, I think he's just gotten banged up this season. And the way that they use him and he runs, Bilal Powell is now a standalone option.
Agreed.
And if something happens to Forte, he is going to ball out. Let's talk about DeMarco Murray because people keep on doubting him and he just keeps on producing no matter the matchup. He was running back 1 heading into week 4. He was running back 1 of week 4, so he continues to be atop that spot. He just seems game script proof as long as Tennessee's not ahead. We haven't really seen what it's like when Tennessee's going to be ahead a lot, but that doesn't appear to be a problem, Tuttle.
Yeah, it's why? Why would you play him though? That's the only thing. It's
in tournaments.
I understand he's done well, but it's Le'Veon Bell. Is only 300 more on DraftKings, 200 on FanDuel. Even in tournaments, I'm just not that intrigued by it for that difference in price.
Oh, I am a guy that's getting all the targets. He's getting 6 or 7 targets a game. You've got Derrick Henry that I think only had 9.
What percentage of the time does he outscore Le'Veon this week?
No, I agree there, but you could also A, play them both, and B, just as Le'Veon So as far as like the top running back options, we talked about DeAndre Washington, and then we also have Jordan Howard and Jerick McKinnon in there, correct? We also have Le'Veon Bell in there, maybe some Theo Riddick. Outside of that, that's pretty much the cash game options. Outside of those 5 options, I think DeMarco Murray is one of these high-priced running backs that you could get some leverage on. And there's just a lot of upside there. He's been breaking big runs. I forget who was.
I don't know, man. We do this like every week. He's fine. He'll probably score 22.
It's not just that he's fine. He's been really good, and we keep on.
Titans are just so bad. It's just so hard to invest in their offense.
And it's
so
even more
terrible.
amazing. That's what's the even more amazing part is they've been terrible, and he's still RB1.
Yeah, he played 91% of the snaps last week. He's getting like elite RB1 usage.
Yeah. And
so if I'm getting anyone from this Titans offense in GPP,
oh boy,
I'm going at a crappy position. He'll be like he'll be way under 5% owned. I'm going to go Delaney Walker.
Okay.
See, he only saw 60% of the snaps last week. Should see an increased snap count this week. Still saw 8 targets last week. Dolphins have been overall just very meh against tight ends. I think he's a good
meh against everybody.
What's that?
Dolphins have been meh against everybody.
Yeah, they have, but I'm also not like paying through the roof at a position that's deep.
Someone in chat just mentioned CJ Anderson. That's who I wanted to. I think he's very good this week for tournaments because he actually is in a really good spot at home. Is maybe going to be Paxton instead of Simeon, so they might lead on the rush even a little bit more. Really like CJ Anderson for tournaments this week.
Yeah, Falcons are number 1. They're terrible in run defense, number 1. And number 2, they're missing – they only play 2 linebackers because they play sub-package the whole time, and their 2 linebackers that they use are out. So they had to sign A.J. Hawk off the street. I mean, this dude has been washed up since, like 2007.
Don't you speak of A.J. Hawk like that. How dare you?
Before we move on to wide receivers, and you guys can go ahead and pull up your DK lineups, and we'll make that. The last guy I want to mention is Devonta Freeman on DraftKings specifically. I get it. He's going up against the Broncos, but he's $5K, and you've got this sickle cell thing going on right now with Tevin Coleman, where he might get like I don't think he's going to get many snaps. I think he's going to get like 10 snaps. He's going to get like Jamal Charles usage last week, and I think that if they have to pass, they'll go with Devonta Freeman. This is a medical GPP play, is what I'm calling it. Silva, you laughed at it, so
I like Gurley.
A medical GPP play. I never heard that.
Yeah, I like the naming about it.
It's a medical-induced GPP play. That's what it is.
Davis actually had a good take, though, Gurley.
He could get because Cunningham's not going to play. So I mean, he's been Trent Richardson like.
Whoa! Are we sure that
Cunningham's not out?
Not going to play?
If he is,
he's doubtful. I think
questionable. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's been limited in practice most of the week.
So he could see like 6 targets, which would actually make him playable.
Yeah, but that's a good point. That speaks to the point. If Cunningham's out, Gurley sees a nice uptick in the receiving game.
And he's 6,500 on DK.
I think that he's the best GPP play on the board on FanDuel this week.
I love him on FanDuel because he's only 400 more than Howard.
He's 7,600. He's 400 more than Howard, correct? And $100 less than Melvin Gordon. And I do think Gordon's going to be somewhat chalky on FanDuel this week. So you're fading him at your own risk.
Benny Cunningham, limited on Thursday, limited on Friday, questionable. I can't believe that we're like worried about Benny Cunningham's status as it pertains to Todd freaking Gurley.
Rams, dude. The Rams extended Tavon Austin. And I don't have any idea what they're doing.
Oh, can't wait till we get to. Stupid. I might be on the Tavon Austin train this week. By the way,
can we when we promote this episode, can we just play the clip where Silva says Todd fucking Gurley?
Wait, he said the F word.
Well,
no,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Now I've got to go back and edit it.
Yeah, we'll have to check the tape on this one.
Let's make a DK lineup.
Let's do it.
Evan, you started out.
Sammie Coates.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want like Tavon Austin instead?
Yeah, at 3,700. I'm on board with Tavon Austin this week at 37.
He's actually not a terrible play.
How do you guys know when he's going to do well?
You don't. That's why you randomly play him. You know what? I'm gonna go here. I get defense and another play.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jalen Richard and Oakland Raiders double dip.
Wow.
Boom.
We better start getting some good players in.
Hey,
we opened up the salary for them to do
Hey,
whatever.
I got it. I got us covered with good players because I'm going to take Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
don't. Are you kidding me, dude?
We've had such a good run up until now.
No.
I'm
I'm not even looking at the chat, but I know they're being the woke right now, so let's just take Roethlisberger.
Thank you. Ben will still be low owned, man. I mean, it happens like this every week.
All right. I will go just with the chalk and go Odell.
He is not chalk.
I think I put out a poll. 40% said they're going to play him in cash, both sides.
AB.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the way to make teams.
Except for that Richard play.
Total.
Dude, that Richard play is gonna be
so
gold.
Gross. It's so gross.
Put Deandre Washing in too.
Don't you dare.
I'll go McKinnon. We'll keep it somewhat chalky.
So do we just go full onslaught and play Le'Veon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Onslaught. You get to pick the tight end, David.
Well, how much is it?
Martellus.
All right.
Martellus, get this there.
I think I'm going to go Kyle Rudolph.
No, Martellus.
Hey, do you want Martellus?
Evan.
Boom! Look at that. That's a perfect.
Oh,
perfect.
I just.
By the way, you guys don't like the Richard stack, but I already got a tweet that says I'm GOAT for that stack.
Okay. All right. This is kind of
suck it.
We've got.
You're gonna get a tweet on Monday that says "Eat shit."
I mean, Big Ben. We've got 3 Steelers in this lineup with Big Ben, Richard, and Oakland.
It's called the onslaught, fella.
All right, so
this is an onslaught for sure.
This lineup's gonna do work.
People just need to know: do not play this in cash. Like disclaimer.
Oh, they do every week. Though.
I know.
Some idiot who listens to this show is like, you gotta get Cameron Meredith in there. He was in the Swolecast lineup.
We cashed the past 2 weeks.
It doesn't matter. Don't play these teams.
I know. It's what I'm saying. We cashed the past 2 weeks, so hopefully people can give us a little bit of grace. Let's move on to wide receiver.
I like that team. I don't know how the Raiders defense is going to do well, but I like the team.
I like Raiders and Titans D on DraftKings at that price. Titans D is 2,400. All right, let's go to wide receivers. We've got Odell. We've got Antonio Brown. We know about those guys, right? Third wide receiver, for me, it feels like it's been Brennan Marshall. If Quincy Enunwa is out, Evan, does that increase Marshall's potential, or is that actually like bad news because they're just going to focus in on shutting him down?
I didn't mean to criticize Tuttle's defensive pick earlier. I did. I just hadn't really considered them before. But they've actually played okay defense in their last 2 games.
Yeah, they were.
I think Emerson is the number 1 PFF corner now.
I'm fine with Oakland.
And he gave up a 52-yard touchdown to Steve Smith last week.
Got to be so bad to do that.
Is that
the guys at PFF probably circle jerk.
Can we move on to my Brennan Marshall question, please?
Wait. I'm enjoying this apology.
I think that Enunwa is going to play this week, but I don't think that really matters for Marshall. I think that Marshall's golden either way. So, I mean, I think that he's an incredible play. Is he going to be low owned?
I think he's not going to be low owned, but I don't think he's going to be like a chalk because of Odell and Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
And people are going to be playing high price running backs. So
This is why you play DeAndre Washington and Jalen Richard together, so that you can play Brennan Marshall in a game where he's going to get
gross. Evan, you do not have to play them both together. I'm not on board. I'm not on board with hashtag 2 RBs on the same team.
All right, man.
If you want that, you can go ahead and make a Twitter account.
How are you going to get in AB, OBJ, and Marshall then, and Ben?
I've already done it.
I think
You're
I'm
not.
just done punting third wide receiver.
I mean, I'm just going with Brian Hoyer, who's probably going to have like 5 points less than Big Ben.
Yeah, right.
Good Lord.
No, real talk. I think taking like a guy sub 4K on DraftKings as your third wide receiver is a viable strategy.
And there are those options available. Definitely.
If Enunwa is out, Robby Anderson is a legitimate play.
Not in cash, no.
Yeah, him and Meredith both.
I cannot get on board with Robby Anderson in cash.
I mean, it's completely injury dependent.
I would rather go.
You had the stat from Scott Barrett that he was like 9th in the league last week in missed opportunity yards.
Right, but you've got Sammie Coates at 3,600. You've got Tavon Austin at 3,700. Give me both those guys over Robby Anderson. Those are both sub 4K guys.
I mean, if I play Tavon Austin on my DraftKings account, I think they shut it down and they tell me I can't play it because I've betrayed my brand to such an egregious degree.
Robert Woods, another guy potentially.
It's also a brand betrayer. Can't do it.
You guys know who's going to go off this week at wide receiver?
Tell us, please.
Get ready.
Brian Quick. A bird. UT.
TY.
Oh
yeah. TY is very solid this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome play.
It's an awesome play to pair with luck in the tournament. T.Y. Hilton, definitely a good play. I'm not sure I'm paying up for him. As 7,400, I think Marshall's around that price on DK.
Yeah, he is.
And Amari Cooper also. Now without Verrett, I think Amari Cooper has a really good matchup, but I'm actually...
No, don't do this. Don't just play Crabtree, man.
I'm actually going to look at Evan to see if he's on Amari Cooper or not, because he's like the anti-Amari whisperer.
Is he on average Amari?
You on average Amari?
Yeah, I like him in tournaments. I mean, he he's frustrating, dude. Like,
he's 6'1" and 203 pounds. They can't use him in the red zone.
I know, it sucks. And every week he makes a big play or like gets open for a big play, and then
it gets called back.
It gets called back, or like Derek Carr misses him. I mean, he's a frustrating dude.
Crabtree is viable.
It's gonna happen for him for sure. It's just we're shaken. We're shaken at this point.
Crabtree is viable though in FanDuel cash, I think.
What is he on DraftKings?
He's 6,900 on DraftKings.
Yeah,
so I just think around that price point, I'd rather play Brennan Marshall for $200 more. I'm not really into him.
This week sucks, dude. It's like so hard to make a team.
All right, you've got some other guys. Let's just assume Marvin Jones doesn't play.
No. Marvin Jones was full practice. Let's deal in reality.
Okay.
Come on.
I was gonna ask a Golden Tate hypothetical.
No, let's just assume Randall Cobb's gonna tear it up this week.
Yeah. Oh, it's very, very safe assumption.
Julian Edelman, yay or nay this week? He showed up on the practice report yesterday.
Doesn't make it move.
What's that?
Doesn't make it move.
It doesn't make it move. Like
it makes me half.
Yeah.
Half? Yeah, I'll give it a half.
Yeah.
I would just rather play, like, for tournaments, I'd rather play Hilton. For cash, I'd rather play Marshall. So it just doesn't make a ton of sense.
Martellus makes it full.
Martellus makes it full.
Martellus makes it full.
There you go, fella.
Like longer than it usually gets.
Oh, stop it.
For 4 hours.
Yes, Mr. Silva. I need
Can we edit-
I need
can
to
we
speak
edit
to a
that out?
doctor.
Yeah,
No,
I got
there's no editing on this show.
I
someone
got a
in
2
chat just said
TD game.
This is turned into Chubcast.
I got a 2 TD game out of Martellus Bennett. I need to speak to a doctor, please. Jordan Matthews, Jordy Nelson. Who are some other potential guys?
Oh, Jordy is like the best 5% owned play ever because the Giants are just so bad at like every facet of the game: special teams, offense, defense.
They've been good in defense.
Whatever the opposite of like ready to run through a wall is, that's what McAdoo has his guys ready to do. Like he's got his guys ready to take a nice nap after drinking a glass of warm
All right,
milk.
stop.
This guy is the
We're
worst.
dealing in reality. Jordan Matthews, Jordy Nelson, any of those guys interest you? AJ Green. Let's throw AJ Green in there because we haven't talked about him yet.
Jordan Matthews
Yeah.
comes up.
J-Matt.
Jordy Nelson, like half.
Good play. Really good play.
Good play.
Jordy
Yeah, he's good.
Jordy Nelson makes it move.
He's getting better every game, man. He's in a prime spot. Rodgers at home, he's gonna rip it. I mean, against a team on the road on a short week, that looks like a pass funnel kind of defense. I think it's strong for Rodgers and Jordy.
I think you'll actually see him probably like 10 to 15%.
What about
Jordy?
So much ownership is going to be concentrated on Antonio. It's going to be hard for him to get there.
and Odell, and I think AJ Green's in play on FanDuel, and I don't like it, but he's getting just so much volume, and I get it that game script might be going against him with just Dallas milking that clock and taking the air out of the ball, but man, I just think he's a really good play on FanDuel. He's
just awesome, and he gets a lot of targets.
Right.
I
don't know how chalky he's going to be though. Like,
no, he'll have no ownership.
You think?
No ownership. No, he'll have nothing.
I'm telling you.
No, he won't.
All right. Any other?
I will say every week from this point on, I will be making at least one Julio Jones team, no matter who they're playing. You have a 300-yard game, you're gonna end up in my lineups. It doesn't matter. Like I can't believe how fishy I felt not having any Julio exposure.
He has a 51-point ceiling.
All right. Let's move on to the tight end position, and let's create a FanDuel team really quick.
FanDuel.
So, I'll go ahead and start with Mr. Brian. No, I won't go Brian Hoyer. Even though I really want to
make a good play.
You really like Hoyer, huh? God.
I just think on FanDuel,
his price does a lot.
He allows you to do so. Yeah. He allows you to get all these guys we've been talking about.
I played Hoyer in Thursday Cash. I'll say it.
All right, thank you, Tuttle. Thank you.
So did I, and I hate myself.
Apology accepted, Tuttle. Thank you.
All right, so, but let's look at like the passing game matchups. Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with probably Vontae on Jeffrey, who hasn't been good anyway. We're really leaning on Cameron Meredith.
Exactly.
The God.
That's what you want.
And we're really leaning on Zach Miller, who was limited in practice with a rib injury, who went to IR with a rib injury last year. I mean, we don't know if Zach Miller's going to play.
All right, I'm
going.
going.
We
Eli.
don't know. He's questionable, and Eddie Royal didn't practice at all week. So this is what you're relying on with Brian Hoyer. I mean, is he Phillip Rivers? Like, can he make magic out of dust? I don't. No. He's scary. He's like could finish as the quarterback 26 this year.
Oh my gosh, we get it, Evan. We get it.
Well, we got to talk through these things.
No,
yeah, he feels so unnecessary to me.
I agree on FanDuel that now with all these injuries, he does feel a little bit risky. And Adam Levitan actually echoed the same sentiments that you did the other day, Evan. So you two are on the same page there.
It's ugly.
I'm going Eli Manning, though, against this porous Green Bay secondary that just allows – someone's going to go off. If it's not Jordy Nelson, it's going to be it's going to be like Randall Cobb, like having the 3 touchdown game. But I do think that a Jordy,
Randall.
Sorry, on the other side, Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard. Sorry, I got my teams mixed up. So I will go Eli, and then Evan, you go next.
I mean, I got to throw in Odell, I guess.
All right.
Yep.
Do it.
I'm taking Will Ty. We got our onslaught here.
Why do we have to, like? Why are you like? So we already did the onslaught with the other one.
I mean,
we're feeling very aggressive this week.
Yeah, let's not go Will Ty.
No. We're taking Will Ty. We're onslaughting.
Why?
Will Ty's a good play on FanDuel.
He's a really good play at 4,800.
He's a good play. I'm gonna go with the girly man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So strong. So strong.
All right.
Don't blow this. We're off to a good start.
Don't screw it up here, Kitchen.
I'll go.
Oh gosh.
Jerk.
It's just every time he's about to say something.
Oh gosh,
so
this is.
No, my picks have been way better than Davis's this year.
That's not even true.
Studies have definitely backed it up. I'm going Jerick McKinnon at running back.
Hey, he did some.
He just picked someone that he couldn't screw up.
My picks have been so fire just because I've just stayed with the chalk. I still have yet to have my Bilal Powell day.
I wanted Blunt, and then we could get
no.
And then we could get like 60 carry upside from Gurley and Blunt.
That's right.
That's the best take of the Swolecast thus far, I think.
I mean, all right.
I only missed it by like 10 carries or 15 or 20.
All right, who's up?
They didn't get to 40.
All right, so let's go Marshall.
So we'll just lock in Vikings, do you?
Agree.
Right?
And let's just go Mason Crosby just as a 4,500 kicker, just to kind of see what he is. So that means we've got 8,300 left over for a wide receiver.
This is a gross range.
Yeah, it's kind of a gross spot. If we went down 400 on defense, you could get up to Julio. You could get up to AJ Green.
I want Jordy. Game stack.
Okay.
Game stack it with Jordy.
Yeah, and then Rams D.
There you go. With we got the correlation.
Send it.
Boom.
Send it.
All right, so here it is. Eli, Gurley, McKinnon, Odell Beckham, Jordy Nelson, Brennan Marshall, Will Ty, Mason Crosby, LA Rams. Boom.
That's hot.
Just going to go ahead and admit Will Ty's not on my radar. Maybe he is after you guys talked me into it. It seems like Davis has Silva insurance a little bit for that call. On FanDuel, though, for me, it's if Zach Miller plays and Eddie Royal is out, it's Zach Miller, it's Zach Ertz, and Kyle Rudolph. Let's talk about Zach Ertz a little bit. Evan, do you think he's like full go this week?
Yeah, I mean he should be. I guess he's going to be the chalk.
I think Rudolph's going to be the chalk without Diggs.
No, I mean the matchup's terrible for Rudolph.
He's still going to be the chalk if they don't have anybody else.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm on different guys.
I guess so.
I like Will Ty. I like Marty B, and I like Will Ty, Marty B, and Zach Miller if he plays. God.
So
these Bears injuries are so tilting. Like we have no idea what is going on.
Just for reference, Zach Ertz 17% Thursday night, and Rudolph was 6%. I don't think Diggs out moves that needle very much. So, who are you on, Davis, at tight end?
Will Ty. Will Ty, Richard Rodgers. I actually do like Rudolph too. I think he's like 8 targets, pretty 8 bankable targets.
Yeah, I like Richard Rodgers as a GPP option.
Mm-hmm.
It's 80% of the snaps before the bye with Jared Cook out. Anybody else?
it never feels great to play Richard Rodgers, but he has like 2 TD potential. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks for him in the red zone for sure.
Yep.
He had 8 touchdowns last year.
What's the Hunter Henry take this week?
It looks like Gates is going to play.
Back.
Is Gates playing for sure?
Not for sure. He's 36 with a hamstring injury, but one of the beat writers just said that he thinks that Gates is going to give it a go this week.
I don't even like. Do you even like Henry if Gates is out?
Just for the snaps, like he plays every down.
Yeah, I think he's got a decent floor.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, defense. Shall we move on to the defense?
My hot take is Bears for 2,200 on DraftKings. Luck leads the NFL in turnover rate at the quarterback position for the last 2 years. It's a way to get to like mash the studs in there. Other than that, everyone's just playing the Vikings. I don't know.
Vikings are probably pretty close to a lock on FanDuel cash.
Yeah, DraftKings though, there's like a $1,200 difference.
Yeah,
I like Steelers D against Fitzpatrick. I don't think that's chasing either. We saw the Steelers D start to blitz again last week. They sacked Alex 4 times, forced 2 turnovers. Alex came out of that thing as a top 12 fantasy quarterback last week, and he almost had 3 TDs, except he had like a bunch of drop touchdowns in the end zone. I can't believe he finished a top 12 fantasy quarterback last week. That was horrible. Did you guys watch that?
Alex always gets there in the end, though.
Yeah.
Dude, there was an Alex Smith truther that was trolling me on Twitter because I had said how bad Alex Smith was. And now he's challenged me to like a DraftKings series. And if I lose, I have to wear an Alex Smith jersey on the show.
That's good for you. Alex Smith is great. I love Alex Smith.
He's terrible.
I'm an Alex Smith.
This guy is like, his Twitter avatar is Alex Smith. His Facebook, he screenshotted me a Facebook post that was like 3 paragraphs long about Alex Smith.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Any other plays that we didn't discuss?
I think I guess my thing is right now is like, I just don't know if it's worth playing like one of these like legitimately bad wide receivers to get Le'Veon in. Like, are the Steelers going to score 35 this week? I don't know. Because like you can just.
It feels so wrong to do it though. Like, wouldn't you rather play? Because on DraftKings specifically, I mean, you're looking at McKinnon, you're looking at Jordan Howard, and then so if you're playing a min-priced wide receiver,
I'll just read off my cash team right now. It's Roethlisberger, McKinnon, Howard, Beckham, Brown, Will Tye, Cameron Meredith, Le'Veon Bell, Bears D. So it's like there are 2 zeros there. Like Meredith and Tye could just get zeros.
So basically, what the swap would be
is a reasonable third wide receiver and getting Bell out.
And yeah, you put DeAndre Washington in and a third receiver.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would side with currently, but
that was just so lit though. I don't know.
It's lit.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it because I think Kitchen's dead. I think that his house got infected with some sort of there's the germ warfare from The Division. Only like millennials listening to the show know what The Division is. That hit David Kitchen's house. So everyone's dying and there's like guys with flamethrowers around. So that's going to do it for us here at, maybe not. Maybe not.
So here's Dave to end the show for us.
Hey, look at this. Look at this right there.
Classic Swolecast.
Professional as always. Yeah, log us off.
Are you guys done?
Sign us out.
All right, guys. Good luck this week.
Later, Evan. We're done. Later, everybody.
The best,
Bye-bye.
the best ending ever to a show.